Good morning, everybody. It is dawn here on the morning of our week-long backpacking trip here in the wilderness. My buddy Brandon getting some stuff together. We just woke up in the truck. We did some fishing here at the trailhead last night and caught a ton of cutthroat. It was a riot. There he is. Little Tanuki 275 doing its thing.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's a good fighter. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. That's a better one.
Oh, that's the biggest.
That's the best one so far. And the littlest rod.
Yep.
Nice. Beautiful. All right.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
Yeah, that's the best fish so far.
Yeah.
Big parking lot there, a bunch of horse trailers because they pack way back in there. I think overall we'll probably go almost 20 miles in when all is said and done, and 20 miles back out. We're gonna go about 12 and a half today, hopefully. It's gonna be interesting, but we've got a third buddy. He slept in a tent down there, down in the timber, and Brandon and I were in the back of the truck, but we're just making some breakfast burritos, getting ready to go. I'm gonna do a couple different, a lot of different videos, but I'll have one having to do with just the trip and the hike and that sort of stuff, and then I'll have some individual fishing videos as well. But stick around, it's going to be a fun week. All right, so we're on the trail now. You see Brandon and Scott behind me, just getting started. What time was it, like 7:30? But I'm gonna be checking in during the day here and seeing how things going. It hasn't been a good summer for conditioning, so there's gonna be a lot of suffering going on behind camera. Okay, so we're at a bridge. I don't know, we're an hour into this or something. You can see this pool behind me. We're going to kind of take turns and catch a couple fish, fill up with water, and then head up. I've got the prototype Dragontail Ice Wing, 11-foot level line, and a red-ass monkey, and we're just gonna kind of take turns, see what we can do. Well, we stopped here at the first bridge. By GPS it looks like 3.7 miles we've gone so far. We caught a total of 5 fish. I think Brendan caught 4, I caught 1. Mine was way bigger, but we're gonna get on. We got a lot of miles to go still, and a lot of climbing. We haven't done any of the good climbing yet, so we're gonna hit the trail. Well, we made it a whole 100 yards up the trail before we saw this pool. So I broke out the Tanuki Pocket Ninja. Got a 9-foot level line and a tungsten surveyor on 5X. We just couldn't pass this up. Well, we stopped for lunch here. We're about 8,400 feet? Yep. And we started around 6,700, so we've gained 1,700 feet, and we're a little over halfway. We still got to go up over the pass. It peaks out just under 10,000 feet, and we're going to fill up with some water and begin the slow slog up the switchbacks. All right, so we've been going another about mile or so after we've had lunch. Did just a steady climb to this little lake up here. It's fishless. But we're gonna go up to that ridge behind me and over the pass to, I guess, my right. And there's no fish in this lake, but we're starting to suffer. At least I am. These two young bucks aren't. They're having too much fun.
We're starting to suffer.
I'm suffering. Okay, so we just came from behind me there up the pass. We're about 9,900 feet now. You guys know what time it is? So like 4:30, 4:15. So, and we're going down this side of the pass, down to the lakes, and we're going to set up camp. There's a series of lakes, probably, I think there's 3 or 4 right near where we're going to camp. So try to get set up, do a little fishing. Well, we made it in. I think it's around 12.5 miles. It was 3,500 feet climb. I'll just show you the camp real quick. So over here you can see we've got the duplex set up for Brandon and I. And Scott's got his soloplex tent set up. He's gathering some water. And what we have is we've got one lake over my head back there, and we've got another lake right over here behind the trees, and a little stream in between. I'm not sure if there's anything in there. Thought we saw some fish hiking in, coming down from the pass in the one lake over there. So we are gonna have a little snack and do a little fishing and then have dinner. So hopefully I'll have at least a video catching a few fish here somewhere along the line. We just got done setting up, and I got my hellbender and an indicator and a couple chironomids on a 7-meter floating line, and I just missed one strike and then got another one immediately after and got this little cutthroat. So let's take a look at it. That's fun when it works. Let's see, which one did he take? Took the upper one. Kind of a red and black chironomid. Well, it's getting a little late. I'm gonna go make some dinner. Brandon switched to the fly I had and he caught one right away. So great first day so far. Long, tiring hike, but we got a couple hours of good fishing in, and now time to go relax by the fire. Well, it's the morning of day 2. We had a bit of a rough night not long after we went to bed. Started to sprinkle a little bit. The forecast was for like sun all week, but up here just all bets are off. And it rained pretty good most of the night, and we got some wet gear. We didn't readjust our tents to get them a little lower to the ground, so gonna have to dry some things out today, but fortunately we don't have too far to walk. We've got 3 or 4 lakes that we're gonna sample before we set up tent, but probably altogether maybe only 3 or 4 miles of packing, so we'll be able to set things up and get things dried out once we get to our destination after breakfast this morning. Right now it's overcast for the most part, and hopefully the sun will come out a little bit and give us some warmth. It's kind of cool out, but it's beautiful up here, and at least it's not raining during the day. We've only hiked about an hour. This was a lake that's kind of on the way. It's beautiful here, cliffs all around, and it was just a, I don't know, half mile off the trail. But cutthroats in here. We're gonna rig up and see if we can catch some fish this morning. Well, we caught I don't know, half a dozen or a little bit more on the pink pookie again, as well as some chironomids early on. But quick session. We're having a early lunch, and then we're gonna head over to Golden Trout Lake, so hopefully we can catch a few over there. Okay, we've hiked a couple hours since we had lunch earlier, and we got to a lake that is up there. That is a golden trout lake. It doesn't have many in it, and they're supposed to stock it here this year, but we're gonna fish this little outlet pool that's supposed to have some. We saw one tiny little rise, so I've got the Tanuki 375, and Brandon's got his Dragontail Mutant, and we're gonna see if we can catch a little golden trout. Well, we caught about 7 or 8 little goldens in this pool, and another little pool just down the way, some on dries, some on wets, some on a nymph. But we're gonna pack up and head over to the Cutthroat Lake and set up camp, dry out our gear, and hopefully catch dinner. Well, we are packing up here, morning of day 3. We had an awesome meal last night. Scott cooked up some fish chowder and some bread twist with apricot jelly dessert that we cooked over the fire. It was pretty awesome, but beautiful lake here, and we were able to catch fish right just outside the tent basically. But we got a little bit of a hike today, going to a couple lakes that have rainbows, and hopefully some of the streams will work for Tenkara if the fish are in the streams, but we'll see what we can do. What is this, day 3?
Day 3.
Day 3, we're halfway. We just had lunch. We had a fun little rainbow fishing session at a meadow creek. I'll throw up a picture of that, but we didn't record anything there. But we used the Darth Quattro as well as the Dragontail Icewing prototype, and we came up a little draw and some more of this outlet creek from the lake, and we're going to do some more with the Icewing, see what we can do. Well, we're just walking up on this lake that we've been fishing the outlet. Beautiful peak there. Lots of casting room. We're not sure if we're going to camp tonight on this one or go up further. Caught this nice rainbow on the Icewing, or I've hooked into it, haven't caught it yet. We're just walking along, trolling, casting as we hike the shoreline here. Looks like I caught a little cutthroat. Come here. Here we go. Yeah, that's a long one. All right, you're up. Well, it is the final night of our 5-night trip, and we found a beautiful lake here. We're about 15 miles back in the wilderness. You can see we got the tent set up with the lake in the background. Got the guys building the fire and getting dinner ready. But we're gonna go down and catch some rainbows and cutthroats that are planted or stocked in this little lake here. Some self-sustaining as well, and try to get some action here before dark. Well, it's the last evening, and Scott's back working on the fire and cooking dinner. Brandon and I are going to fish the little outlet stream here at this lake. It has cutthroat and rainbows, and he's got his mutant, and he just pulled out about a 3-incher. And I've got the Dragontail Icewing, so let's see if we can have a little fun on the last night before our 15 mile or so hike out in the morning.
Pretty fish.
Yeah, real pretty.
That thing's got some.
That's got some girth on it.
Yeah, it's a good size one for sure. Beautiful. That would be an eater. Pretty, man.
Nice.
Beautiful.